Are you tired of wheeling thousands of dollars and months upon time to farm these Galactic Legends? What if I told you that you already have a free Galactic Legend in your roster that can have millions of health and make Lord Vader look like a chump? Well, in today's video, I'm going to show you how you can have the Galactic Legend Raid Boss Nihilus that you see in the Sith Raid, use it for yourself, and dismantle the latest Galactic Legends, Lord Failure. I mean, look at this guy. Maul can't do anything. And take a look at the health. He's recovering 10% health every time a debuffed enemy's being hurt. And he's gaining over 700,000 health each and every time. I can guarantee you by the end of this, you're going to be saying, dang, boy, eat it. This is going to be a really fun video to make. I'm not even sure if it's impressive at this point that a lot of things beat Lord Vader, because it seems like everyone and their grandma is beating Lord Vader. Here's the thing about Grand Arena. In Grand Arena, I think the best players are the ones that can master off-meta counters, put the best, highest level defense together, making their opponent struggle. And today what I'm going to show you is going to help people who maybe, one, don't have a Galactic Legend, but you might have the Sith Tremor, and you can turn your Darth Nihilus literally into the raid version of Darth Nihilus. I first came across this counter actually around November from a channel called Varden. I'll leave a link down below in the video description. But eventually my buddy Furious also sent me some footage of how this does work for them as well, and there's a Thrawn variant with Maul. And really the cherry on top that finally made me get my Sith Tremor in line and make sure the mods are in order was when I had my Grand Arena up against Playbook, and they also used the Sith Tremor to dismantle my Lord Vader, take out my Maul, and then do an easy cleanup on Lord Vader afterwards. Basically, what is happening is because of Lord Vader spamming tons of damage over time from his unique ability, and all of his other damage over time, and all the debuffs that the other characters on the Lord Vader team are doing, Darth Nihilus through Lord of Hunger. Every single time an allied Darth Side or Trey are being inflicted with a debuff, Nihilus is getting 10% turn, which is going to be important for him to get lots of cooldown increases, lots of opportunities for annihilates. He's also getting 30% max health, which is constantly stacking until the end of the encounter. And as I'm going to show you from this one clip of some of my recorded footage behind the scenes, he at one point got 7 million plus health, which is basically a mini version of the Nihilus Raid Boss that we see. And honestly, probably the highest health I've ever seen on a character in Galaxy of Heroes. And you might be wondering, how do I know we have 7 million health? Well, let's take a look at Darth Trey, who's also very durable like Darth Nihilus because of the fact that her unique ability allows her to constantly stack up bonus protection. When an ally suffers a debuff, she's getting 10% bonus protection, which is based off her max health. But through the Darth Trey Elite, anytime a debuff enemy takes damage, which Maul, every time he's using Furious, he's damaging himself right off the get-go. Sith allies are getting 10% health back. So anytime you're seeing an enemy with a debuff being damaged, you can see where Nihilus is because that's 10% of his total max health pool. Every time Maul's taking a turn, especially when he's taking back-to-back turns, he can barely tickle Nihilus because he's recovering hundreds of thousands of health, which overcomes the damage Maul's trying to do, even at a Relic 8 Maul. So let's roll a couple of battles, and I want to first showcase the best Lord Vader team that you're probably not even going to see in Grand Arena. And if someone does put Piet with Lord Vader, they're probably wanting to throw away their Grand Arena because their Imperial Troopers are dismantled at that point. That's a top 10 team with Imperial Troopers, but nonetheless, Lord Vader with Piet, Darth Vader, Maul, and Royal Guard is the best possible Lord Vader composition you can put together, and it's such an expensive team because it pulls away from so many great things out there, and even that could barely do anything to this team. After the first few opening hits, all those debuffs going, Nihilus is already in the millions of health because of all the debuffs being applied to Cyan and Traya. And it's a very straightforward composition. You're going to obviously use Trey Elite for that health recovery. Darth Nihilus, the shining Galactic Legend of today, the unofficial Galactic Legend of the day. Wat Tambor, it seems like I've seen people do it without Wat Tambor against the really bad Lord Vader lineups that have no Vader or have no Maul. And then a pre-taunting tank of your choice. I've used L37 Sith Empire Trooper. I've seen people use Baze, for example. You're going to first start off with Wat Tambor, given the tank tech over the Cyan because you want Cyan to die. You want all the attention to be focused over there. You want all the debuffs to be thrown on Traya, Cyan, so Nihilus supercharges health. 30% every single time is crazy. And then Wat Tambor, he should go and give the Blast Attack weapon mod over the Darth Nihilus. And the great thing is, because of the Traya unique ability, Sith allies are constantly cleansing all the dazes, the debuffs. And once Nihilus is free of daze, he's gaining turn meter just from Cyan and Traya, getting debuffs in him. And the Blast Attack weapon mod is feeding tons of turn meter to Nihilus as well. So he's gonna get a really fast cooldown reductions and a really fast annihilates. And with annihilate comes the really interesting stuff. Darth Nihilus was the introduction of one of the most overpowered mechanics we've ever seen. One of the coolest things And that's the ability of Annihilation, is completely deleting someone right out the get-go. And on top of, besides killing someone off instantly and preventing revives, he's also going to gain max health equal to the target's max health. So once we start eating up the team one by one with Annihilate, his max health pool just creeps into the millions upon millions. And that's how we start getting the hundreds of thousands of health recovery every single time a debuff the enemy's being hurt. And it's super straightforward. Nihilus does Nihilus things, just eats apart the whole entire team. And pretty much it's just going to be Traya and Nihilus standing. And the cool thing about this counter too, Lord Vader, you can tell how jealous he is of Nihilus. He tries his best to always target Darth Nihilus, but no matter how much Lord Vader tries, he can't kill off Nihilus because of the millions of health that this guy has. Really, the only lose condition, which is pretty rare to happen, is if Traya somehow dies early. And that usually only happens if Maul decides not to go for Nihilus because he's too big of an opponent for him and tries to go after Traya. Traya can usually sustain the heavy fire from Maul because of all that stacking bonus protection. But if Traya dies, then things get a bit more complicated because the damage over times could kill off Nihilus because damage over times are based off max health. Luckily, Traya constantly cleanses those damage over time, so that problem usually never happens. So this is more of an interesting video because it's not a one-shot counter. The chance of you one-shotting Lord Vader this is pretty slim to none. But the point of this is that you can play some more aggressive defense. You don't need a Galactic Legend to counter even the best Lord Vader team. Traya is not really that important of a team, not even a top 15 team. In Galaxy Heroes, they're not really used to counter a lot of stuff out there that's important. And if you can use this to take out a Lord Vader and then follow up with Geonosians, Night Sisters, a leftover Bounty Hunter team, or if you really just want to throw Imperial Troopers at that point, which might be a little bit too expensive, but it's a guaranteed cleanup, or even General Grievous, you saved yourself a Galactic Legend. The best players in Galaxy Heroes are usually the ones that can place a great defense and master the off meta. It's going to be a really fun tool for people to utilize that might not have Galactic Legends, or they might want to play some more aggressive defense. At this point, I honestly have no idea what to think about Lord Vader. I can't trust him on defense, can't trust him on offense. If I do put a good team with Lord Vader together, it pulls apart my Maul team, my Darth Vader. But if I don't put a good Lord Vader team down, then Imperial Troopers could run over it, or Traya can, but Traya can kind of run over this with Nihilus anyways. Even if I do put Maul on defense, there's no winning! With Lord Vader, it seems like you're stuck in 5 million catch-22 situations. Anyways, let's just talk about the mods real quick. It's incredibly important that you base Nihilus off max health for the reasons that we explained, with his unique ability constantly stacking his max health. We just load him with as much health primaries as well as health sets as possible so we can get his health as high as possible. He's always already starting off at about 100,000 health at the beginning. But keep in mind, after those first 3 opening bombardments from the Vaders as well as Maul, this is already going to be into the millions most likely pretty early on. And then Traya, the other important thing is kind of like Nihilus. You want her to survive as long as possible through Lord of Betrayal because of her stacking 10% bonus protection. Anytime an ally is suffering a debuff, I honestly probably should mod her. I have her modded for offense, which she does hit incredibly hard because of the stacking offense she's getting. But you definitely want to make sure she's modded for survivability, health and protection, ideally health most likely for the bonus protection. Because if she dies, things can get pretty nasty pretty quickly then. But regardless of your feelings on Lord Vader, you have to admit this is really cool. This is the closest you're ever going to get to playing with a Nihilus Raid Boss and kind of have an unofficial Galactic Legends Nihilus and make it feel like you literally stole the boss straight out of the Sith Raid and threw it against Lord Vader. So hopefully this is going to be helpful, either 1, to master the off meta, 2, play some more aggressive defense, or 3, at the minimum, this is going to help people that might not even have a viable Galactic Legend like Supreme Leader Kylo Ren, Jedi Master Luke, Jedi Master Kenobi perhaps, that go up against the Lord Vader. Traya Triumvirate? Boy, they haven't been top 15 in Galaxy Heroes in quite a while, so this is as budget as it gets. So you guys let me know what you think. Leave a like, comment down below, and subscribe. And if you're feeling hungry, I hear Nihilus knows a trick or two to make you as thick as possible. And more importantly, until the next time we meet, always remember, it's great to be in the Empire today.